So,
Howdy, everybody. I'm JR.
and I'm Stacey.
And to keep the lights on for this podcast, we went out here and a sponsor decided to sponsor the show. So let's give them a moment to do what they do. For something that makes your commute more exciting, or need the perfect soundtrack to your workout? What about a great story to help you unwind after a long day? Well, we've got you covered. Sports Will Save Us All, hosted by Sasha Graham, is the perfect podcast for all these moments. Whether you're stuck in traffic, crushing your workout at work, or just relaxing with your smart speaker, this podcast brings the best stories from the world of sports. Every week, Sasha dives into the moments that make sports so much more than just games. They're life-changing and truly inspiring. From epic comebacks to stories of community and perseverance, Sports Will Save Us All shows you how sports have the power to bring us together and make us better. It's the perfect listen for your daily commute, those sweaty, inducing workouts, or when you just need a dose of motivation and inspiration. No matter when or where, Sports Will Save Us All will keep you hooked. So next time you're on the go, ask your smart speaker to play Sports Will Save Us All, or find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe now and let the stories begin. Make sure you follow the action at www.sportswillsaveusall.com and enjoy Sasha Graham and her amazing podcast.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Germ, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Germ and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows UnderReview, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
Welcome to Sparrows UnderReview. My name is Stacey.
And I'm JR.
How you going to introduce this one?
I mean, this one came out before either one of us were functioning people. I mean, I was probably drinking Dr. Pepper bottles and reading the stocks by then.
Nah, you was drinking Coke, probably.
No, I was a Dr. Pepper
Dr.
person.
Pepper?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper was
When
my
you was a
drinking choice.
baby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a wild one.
I'm going to have to confirm that with you, Mama.
Right. And I think my father would, if he was here, he would agree that.
Probably.
Now,
Was that his drink of choice?
yeah.
Okay.
And being from Virginia, rural retreat and all this stuff, I got history with everything.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to spin this thing a different way. We've been watching a lot. Oh shit, the microphone is all the way in my neck. It was choking me, y'all. The mic was choking me. All right, so look, we watched this movie by this company called Studio. What is the name of it? Because I really think I pronounced it wrong. I call it Studio Ghibli.
Well, let's see here.
Ghibli. I don't even know how you pronounce it because they don't do no pronunciation for it. But in 1988 they made a movie, and that movie is called what, Stacey?
My Neighbor Totoro.
All right. Now this movie came out.
Go ahead and say your name. What do you always call it?
Totoro?
Yeah.
I just call it shit My Neighbor Totoro.
We both could be wrong in our pronunciations. I know he's wrong, but I could be wrong in my pronunciation as well.
And this film, is in high regard, coming out in 1988. So it's lived a long life. Box office wise, since we do technical stuff ahead of time.
Decent amount of life.
Yeah, $41 million in that amount of time. This movie, how it came into my life is weird. So, what happened to me, I said happening. What happened to me was Disney got a hold of this movie. And I'm talking Disney didn't get it till I want to say mid 2000s. I was fresh out of high school. I was in my first year of college, and I won't forget it.
Okay.
Whenever it came out in college, I already knew it was out. It was already Studio Ghibli, whatever.
Right.
But
you're talking about the English version
the
of
English
it,
version.
translation.
I'm in college, and nerds watch this kind of stuff.
You considered yourself a nerd.
I've always
not making fun of any other people by using that term. I'm just explaining that you consider yourself a nerd.
Yeah, so me and my crew went to go see this at the local theater when it was $5 in, and we thought that was a high ass price.
Right.
And we were amazed. We were like, "Oh shit, this is." And mind you, this was my second or third movie that I'd watched.
Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli movie, and his movies are deep.
Okay.
They're kind of just
it makes you think.
Right. Now, going into the future, because we went back to the past. Now we're going to go to the future. I stepped into this store called Box Lunch. In a city, we won't disclose too much information because I don't want to get pop smoked.
Georgia, we're in Georgia.
Yeah, I don't want to get pop smoked or nothing like that. So I didn't even want to disclose that. I might edit that shit out. But the point I'm making is I
mean, we're not going to be here when it releases, so it's not a big deal.
Right. So the thing is that what went on with this and what got me was when you're inside this store I was in, that's the first thing you see. The first thing I saw. So it's going to really... Well, I didn't see it.
Exactly.
But once I seen the material that you saw was oh boy, John Ass Cat, or whatever the fuck he was. You see Totoro everywhere. Or 2020 Row, or whatever.
Totoro, maybe?
Totoro, yeah. I really need Wikipedia to not put the Chinese or Japanese symbols and let me get a...
Right, teach me how to properly say it.
Teach me how to pronounce it. I need to enunciate it the right way. So anyway, I really got tied into this. So this was another one of those. The Max has all of the movies. With the Max having all these movies in a good format, you're seeing it. It's being rendered in its highest form, which obviously in the previous episode we talked about what was the first 4K movie they made. But this movie's been upscaled to at least 1080. Shit looks good regardless. But my problem is when you dig into this animation on this movie, once again, I don't want to feel disrespected when I do this, but I want to put it up against some heavy hitters. I look at animation from The Simpsons. Not the movie, but from the regular show.
Yeah.
I look at Simpsons animation. I look at Rick and Morty. I look at basically anything you can think of with the exception of South Park, because South Park doesn't have the type of, pull and everything that I think it should when it comes to how all this should go.
I think your mic died.
I'm sorry, you all. I didn't have my mic on. So we probably lost a lot of crap. But anyway, we go with the flow on the show.
Right. I think you're dying. Do you have a cord you can plug in and use at the same time? Or do you want to share my mic?
I should have a cord. Let me plug a cord into this so I can still use it.
You might just have to hold it for a minute.
Yeah, if it works.
So basically, to sum up everything that he said, I don't even know where we left off. We'll catch up on that later. So we'll just start now with the movie. I'll jump in. So this is in the 1950s in Japan. We have a professor, and he is raising his two daughters. It says they're estimated 10 and 4. And you have to have some either type of what is the term I'm looking for? You have to have some type of imagination.
Yes.
And you have to realize that these are cartoons, they're animation. It's to us, it's fiction. So that remembering all of that stuff, it makes for a good movie. And you have these little spirit characters, and the dad and I think maybe the neighbor, I think they call grandma now. Is that what they call her?
Yes.
And they explain all of that stuff, and it's like dad is encouraging, like, oh, so it gives me the feel that they want the kids to have the imagination, not necessarily that they believe in it because they're adults, but they want the kids to feel like, oh, this is exciting, and this is what might happen, and this is what's going on, and these are the spirits, and if you do so much, then you're going to achieve different things and stuff like that. But it kind of makes it exciting for that, in my opinion. Hey listeners, are you ready for a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat? Imagine Would You Rather meets House on Haunted Hill with just a dash of salt. Intrigued? Let me tell you about The Invitation, a new young adult horror/thriller novel from an independent author, Stephen T. Thomas, coming January 21st, 2025. In the small town of Westview, Brittany Barnes is searching for hope after her father's tragic death and her family's financial struggles. When she and her friends are invited to a luxurious dinner party, it feels like the break she desperately needs. But this isn't your ordinary party. The wealthy and mysterious host, Mr. Carl Cummings, has something far more sinister planned. What begins as a glamorous evening quickly turns into a series of acutely distressing trials, tests of bravery, morality, and survival. The Invitation isn't just a survival story. It's an emotional roller coaster that explores loss, hope, and the strength of human connection. It's perfect for fans of dark twist and high-stakes drama. Mark your calendars for January 21st, 2025, because this is one release you don't want to miss. Pre-order your copy of The Invitation now and prepare yourself for a night you'll never forget. Head on over and pre-order your copy at Barnes & Noble or Amazon. The Invitation. How far would you go to survive?
Now, my take on this, and this is one of the things that's never happened in an episode, microphone died. And shout out to anybody that uses lavaliers real quick. This movie is fantasy. Its reality is way different than anything else, with the exception of Porco Rosso, because Porco Rosso kind of had that kind of had a realistic vibe to it too.
It was flying pigs, wasn't it, Porco Rosso?
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah. So with this one right here, I think the thing that got me was the motherfucking cat bus. The cat bus hooked me up, had me in a place, and then from that point on, I was hooked.
Well, because I like that how they did it. You had the youngest daughter that was more of the receptor of the fantasy things, and the not necessarily could be real type things. So I like how they did it where, she could be imagining these things, and that's why the older sister hasn't experienced any of it, and why the dad hasn't experienced any of it either. Now, this is like a lot of the other Studio Ghibli movies that we've seen. The mom is in the hospital for whatever reason. They basically just said that she is sick, and when she gets better, she'll be able to come home. It doesn't give you a whole lot of information that I remember about it. But then eventually, just something happens with the older daughter, and I think they went to go get the dad, or maybe something happened with the mom. So she got the ability to be able to actually believe in that stuff that the sister was telling her. So then all of a sudden she was able to see My Neighbor Totoro, and the cat bus, like you said, and the cat bus shows up when they're waiting for their dad, which was kind of exciting.
Okay, and I like that too. Now let's get into like something deep, impactful parts about this movie. This movie to me is the standard. It's only one movie ahead of it called Spirited Away, which was my first dab into this. And at the time of this recording, Stacey has not made that venture yet, but she's seen the ghost character from it. And these are the characters. Totoro is the notable character that you see tied to anything that has to do with Studio Ghibli. It is a movie that resonates with everyone. I have never met someone that doesn't put this in their top 5 of these types of movies. Honestly, to me, it's my number 1 movie. Spirited Away is a different thing. Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery are 2 different ones. So I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to make this long episode because we've been doing animation for quite some time. I want to say this. This movie sits in a vault. It's in my top 100 movies. It's not a top 10, top 20, or anything like that, but it fits somewhere in the fold. It would be something that if I had a child around me that was around the ages of 5, 6, 7, not higher than that,
Depending on your child.
or if your child liked Japanese animation.
I wasn't telling you to lean the mic towards me. I was telling you to lean in a little bit so we could share the mic a little bit better.
All right. So to finish up my little part, and I'll just hand the mic back to you. All I want to add in this is that this movie gets a distinct pleasure of when it was enhanced by Disney and brought aboard the way that Disney does their thing, which we know Disney does subliminal stuff because Disney has you out here doing things that you don't think you're going to do. Because look how people shot for Lilo and Stitch. I'm not saying any names. But anyway, the whole deal that I'm throwing out here is this. This movie will be great in any arsenal and collection. And my thought is this is something that you should truly honestly watch if you are a movie connoisseur or you want to dip and dab into animation. Now, Stacey, your take.
I mean, I think you said it pretty good there. I feel like this so far is my favorite movie of the Studio Ghibli movies that we've watched. I definitely recommend that everybody go out and watch it if you love animation. If you hate animation, just skip it. Whatever, we don't care. That's your opinion. But I enjoyed it. I think you got a lot of I don't want to say educational information, but more like what am I looking for? Because it wasn't really that educational, but it was to make you feel good type movie when it comes to family related things, to show that at the end of the day, you know, my mom might be in the hospital, but I still have a sister and I have a dad that I know is going to be there no matter what.
Okay.
And so it's not going to be in my, like I said, it's kind of like I said in one of the previous episodes, I'm not huge into animation type things specifically. So I might not necessarily recommend it to somebody, just because I might forget about it and might not think that they are going to enjoy that type of movie. If it is somebody that I know is going to like it, yeah, I'm going to recommend this one. Like, this is my favorite movie so far. Make sure you watch it. But for maybe the older people, if I'm talking to them, I might forget about it and not recommend it because of what it is.
Okay. Now, with me, I would recommend this movie. I wouldn't go through too many hardships with it. I would just be like, hey, if you want to learn about this crap, get into this. If you don't want to snap into this type of Slim Jim, don't snap into it because there's enough stuff. This is one thing I'll say has enough stuff in its arsenal that you can find a movie to relate to it. And that's weird that so many movies released, but my thing about this, these movies been being released for over 35 years. So there's something that has to be worked down and grabbed by everyone.
So one thing that we didn't get to in the beginning of the movie, like we did the last, or beginning of the episode, like we did the last one, in the Disney adaptation of this, the voice adaptation, we had Dakota Fanning and her sister, is it Ellie, however you want to say it, her sister was in there. And I was kind of excited about those two being in there because I'm like, oh snap, like I know though at least Dakota Fanning's name.
Okay, and that's all I have to add to it. It has a star-studded cast, and you got to think with the muscle of Disney in releasing an English dub version of this, it's out there. One thing I will say here, though, this movie, when it was released as part of the whole fold for the United States when it came out, the movie made great money. This movie has an amazing bit to it. Where, it was released on DVD. This thing has been released on Laserdisc, and everybody knows I'm a fan of Laserdisc. VHS. It's been released on so many different medias that mediums, I said medias, that's something that got me going with this and made me very entertained to say, hey, this movie's been on almost every video format you can buy. So my lasting impression on this movie, and I'll leave it at this because I've already given my point and review on it, is this. Great movie. It's a great entry into this. If you're a person that is a Comic-Con person that collects things, this is the movie that ties you into Studio Ghibli. If you see the stuff and you're wearing it as a poser before you watch anything, make sure you watch this movie. So on that note, I'm JR, and I want to pass it along to Stacey.
And I think you summed up about everything that we need to know. So I'm Stacey.